Well, good morning, and here we are out in the northern Riverina, visiting a few dusty old towns, if you know what I mean. Now, the first town I'm visiting today is a town called Barellan, which is very famous for Yvonne Goolagong being brought up here and learning her tennis craft here in Barellan. Just to start off here, we'll go down the main street first. There's a commercial hotel. We've got a few cars, believe it or not. I don't even know if that's open, the commercial hotel. It might be. Anyway, so it's a small little town, Barellan, population of 459 people. Looks like there's a lot of closed shops here on the left-hand side. And the pub is open every day. Bar open from 12 PM. There you go. Got a little museum here in Barellan. And if I just turn around onto this little angle here, you'll see the big tennis racket there, Yvonne Goolagong, erected in memory. Well, I mean, she's still alive, but in recognition of Yvonne Goolagong. I think that's the word. I don't know, can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, it looks actually fantastic as you're driving into town. But poor old Barellan is a dusty old town, but it serves its purpose, I suppose, for the local farmers in the area. The population here is only 459. Male is 53.6% and females are 46.4%, and the average age is 48. 89.1% were born in Australia. Everything else is under 1%. England, Thailand and Sri Lanka is 0.7%, which is probably 4 people. Yeah, I better be careful here. This bloke is parking, and I'm driving in the parking areas. There's the Barellan post office. We'll jump out shortly and have a look at that big tennis racket of Yvonne Goolagong, or that Yvonne Goolagong used. It's an actual replica of a life-size replica, or 11 times the size or something like that. 14 metres. That's what I'm trying to say. It's only a small little town. Main industry of employment here is grain growing, which you can probably tell because of all the silos. Grain, sheep or grain and beef cattle farming, 6.1%, and wine manufacturing also is 4.7%. But the median weekly household income is pretty high for a small town, $1,262. Median house price here is $330,000, and the crime rate is 54 in 1,000 people. There's not even 1,000 people here. I'll go left up this little street. Alright, here's a typical little suburban street or residential street in Barellan. There's the Barellan club there on the left hand side. I think it's got the bowls there as well. The bowls club, which it has. Barellan Hall is there on the right hand side, which I think I missed. Now if we turn left down here, little old Barellan, would say there's the tennis courts where Yvonne Goolagong would have been practicing when she was young. And over in the distance there, I'm not sure if you can see it from here, behind the tennis courts it says Yvonne's wall. So maybe she was banging the ball against the wall there hours on end back in those days. Righto, that looks like there, that might have been a church, something like that, a long time ago. I can't quite tell. Anyway, let's check out some of these homes here in Barellan while we're here. Actually opposite the tennis court at the moment. What did I say the medium house price was? 320,000. Barellan Uniting Church. There we go, just there on the right hand side. Just going past Yvonne's wall there, I'm going to check that out a bit closer up later on. So we're just checking out a few of the homes here in Barellan. That's the Barellan Central School, just here on the right hand side. Also got the footy ground here. Over there on the right hand side. Barellan United Football and Netball Club. There's another church here in Barellan, Sacred Heart something or other. I'm not sure what sort of a church he is. And as we're just looking around Barellan, just want to go and see Yvonne's wall a bit closer. Barellan Memorial Swimming Pool. And we're coming up to the tennis courts again, and it's called Yvonne's Wall, just here. So yeah, I'd say she would have been banging the ball against the wall there for hours on end back in probably the 1960s, I'd say. And the actual tennis courts there actually called Goolagong Courts. You can see the sign through the trees there. Goolagong Courts. So yeah, it's great having such a famous person growing up in your town, even though she was born in Griffith. Yeah, so here's the big tennis racket in Barellan, dedicated to Yvonne Goolagong. It's even a little tennis court at the bottom there. But it's a great initiative. I mean, she did grow up here and learnt all her tennis here in the early days before she went on to bigger and better things. But it's a great, I don't know whoever decided to do it, but it's a really great little part of the town. Put it on the map. So there we go, that's about it from Barellan. It's a nice little town, very famous for Yvonne Goolagong, obviously. Learning her tennis trade here. And yeah, so it's a quiet little town, only 450 odd people. But as I said, it serves its purpose for all the farmers in the area. And as I said earlier, the pub is open from 12 o'clock. So anyway, that's enough from Barellan. We'll head off to the next town. Well, here we are. We're in the town of Ardlethan. Now, I forgot to put up a map before to show you where I'm going today. So we're in Barellan earlier. Now we're in Ardlethan, which is about 40 kilometres or so from Barellan. And this is another small town in New South Wales. It's in Coolum Shire. I'm not sure if it's Northern Riverina still. I'm not 100% certain. But it's a small little town, nice and quiet on a Sunday morning. It's only a small population, 472. 52% male. 48% are female. We've got an electric store in town anyway. There we go. And this is the main street. Takeaway and dine-in, Ardlethan News Agency. What else have they got here? Ardlethan Still Retail. Oh yeah, and a food works there. So that's the main street. They've got the Bowls Club on the left-hand side there. The Bowls Club there. Another, what's that? Parts. Something parts. Must be for tractors and stuff like that by the looks of it. Now the pub here in Ardlethan, it's a few hundred metres out of town. It's not in the main street. It's actually got to come out here over the railway. The London Hotel, it's called, in Ardlethan. It's a nice old pub. It's not done up nicely out the front. Check him out a bit more. It actually is done up really nicely. For an old country pub. There we go, look at that. See the silos in the background over there? I know that sun's not in a very good position coming into Ardlethan from this side. So we'll check out, what have we got up here? Turn left here in Ardlethan. See what else we got up here. Now, 82% of people in Ardlethan were born in Australia, 3.4% in England, and 1.1% in New Zealand, Scotland and Germany. The cat on the road up ahead. We'll turn left up this street. There's an old place, not in use anymore. E.R. Sanderson's and Sons. Don't know what he was. Looks like over 100 years ago since he was open. There's the police station straight ahead here in Ardlethan. Now I'm going to do a U-E outside the police station and go back in towards the main street. There's not much else to show. Got the post office there on the right hand side of me now. This is just heading back in towards the main street that we came up just before. Ardlethan Youth and Community Centre. Don't know if it still is. This looks like it might have been an old pub here on the left hand side as well. Might be been done up now as a residential place maybe. Looks like someone's having a go. And there's the Ardlethan Museum just in front of us. Okay, we'll check out some of the residential places here in Ardlethan. Now, the main industry of employment here in Ardlethan is grain growing, which is 16.6%, followed by primary and secondary education, or educators, which is 6.4%, so there must be a school here somewhere. Grain, sheep, or grain and beef cattle farming, mixture of both, is 4.5%, and sheep farming alone is 3.8%. Median house price here in Ardlethan is $225,000. So we are out in the bush, probably, not sure how far from Sydney, it must be 500 kilometres, near enough to it anyway. The crime rate is 34 in 1,000, which is pretty low in a small little town. And as you can see, the houses here are, there's one for sale there if someone wanted to look it up. Houses here in Ardlethan, there's another one for sale. There we go. So if you fancy them, you can look them up. You can stop the video and look up the real estate agent. Yeah, so there's another view of the Bowls Club here in Ardlethan. And there is a Catholic church up here. There we go, I found the school here in Ardlethan. That's why 6.4% of the population here is primary and secondary education. There we go. Secondary and primary school in Ardlethan. And there's the church here in Ardlethan. The sun's in a bad spot. A few cars out the front. Our Lady Help of Christians, Ardlethan Catholic Church. There we go. It's a nice old church. And as I said, there's a few cars out the front early on a Sunday morning. So there's probably a few people in there. That's actually not a bad looking house next door to it either. There's also a preschool here in Ardlethan. There we go. Mullins Community Centre and preschool. Now there's the footy ground on the right hand side, and we're just going to go past the school again. But Ardlethan, I was reading up, is known as the home of the Kelpie. It's not the first Kelpie. The first Kelpie was born in Casterton down in southwest Victoria. But then he came up here, or she came up here and had her first litter of pups up here and raised the first litter of Kelpie pups up here in Ardlethan. So that's what they say anyway. There's also a big tin mining area around here, a big open cut tin mining area around here that opened up in 1912 or something like that. So anyway, we're going to go past the school again. There's the Ardlethan Central School. Anyway, that's about enough of Ardlethan for now. We'll head on to the next town. I think we've seen enough of Ardlethan. Turn right here. It's only a small town, but it's got quite a few amenities. So anyway, like I said, that's enough of Ardlethan. We'll head off to the next town. Here we go. I was just about to drive out of Ardlethan and I came across a swimming pool. So I thought I'd better show it. So it's got quite a few things here. Little town of Ardlethan. Population of only 472. And next door to the swimming pool is the Ardlethan Rural Fire Brigade. And I'm not sure if this is still open over here. The Ardlethan Scout Hall. Cubs, Wednesday 4:30 PM, Scouts Tuesdays 5:30 PM. Might still be open, you never know. It's right out in the woods. Anyway, this time that is the end of Ardlethan. We'll head on to the next town. Well, hello there. We're still on our little tour of rarely visited towns, I suppose they are. I mean, you wouldn't come out to these places unless you knew somebody here or you had family members here. So I'm in the small little town of Tallimba. sort of in central west New South Wales we're getting to now. I think we're out of the Riverina. We might be in it still. I couldn't be 100% certain. Tallimba's only got 185 people. 54% male, 46% female, and the average age is 41. There's an old shop there that's not open. Now looks like the inn here is still open, Tallimba Inn. Let's hope it is, because there wouldn't be a lot else to do here in Tallimba. Here we go, there's the Tallimba Inn. Something else here, I think it looks like he's closed down. It's the old post office. So he's not kicking anymore by the looks of it. And there was something else over here. It might still be open, that one. There's gas bottles out the front. And you got I think that's a school over here on the right hand side. We'll have a look. Now 85.9% of people in Tallimba were born in Australia. And believe it or not, 3.2%, I know that's a Tallimba public hall. There you go. I thought it was a school, it's a public hall. 3.2% were born in the Philippines. So I don't know how they found this place. Somebody in the comments might be able to tell me. Main industry of employment here in Tallimba is grain and sheep, or grain and beef cattle farming, which is 25.6%. Aged care residential, so there must be an aged care home here somewhere, 8.5%. And machinery, equipment and repairs and maintenance, 7.3%. Don't know what that place is there. Don't know if someone's trying to do that up, or they've just forgotten about it. So Tallimba's got a little school as well, by the looks of it. Just over here, I'll go onto the little dirt road here. Across the road from the pub. Is that a school? Not even sure if that's a school. It might be just a park. Thought it was a school. Could be just a park in the middle of town, maybe. Yeah, it is. Tallimba Memorial Park. So it looks like they've got a police station here in Tallimba. Don't know if it's manned or not. It's an old one. It's got the old sign up. And that's a school there, straight ahead. Wouldn't be many students in there, I wouldn't think. Being in a small town of 184 people, and drive straight into the sun now, so we'll try and avoid that. And there's the Tallimba Rural Fire Brigade there. I might check out some of the residential places here in Tallimba. Don't know if there's many around. 184. Turn right down this road, see if there's anything there. No, doesn't look like it. There's another house there. Median house price here in Tallimba is $223,000. Yeah, so here's a few of the other little homes here in Tallimba. It's really outbacky, if you know what I mean. It's well, it's barely surviving, but it is an old farming town. So anyway, he's still kicking, but just the pub's still open. And the crime rate is 48 in 1,000. So who'd be committing a crime out here? I've got no idea. Yeah, look at this old machinery out in the farms here in Tallimba. It's just been left to, once it's stopped, they've just left it there and not bothered picking it up. Anyway, so I thought the school was back there near that police station. But anyway, just as I'm, as usual, driving around Tallimba a bit more, same as in the other towns, I discovered something on the way out. And that's what I discovered here. Tallimba Public School. The sign says, "A little school achieving big things." Now, I didn't say the average weekly household income. It's $1,200, which is a fair bit for a small little town like this. So anyway, I think we've just about seen enough of Tallimba. There's one more little house up here we might get a look at. It's only a small little town. It's got some nice roses in the front yard there, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's only a small little town, but I'm sure it's got a nice little community. So anyway, it's way out in the middle of nowhere, and we'll head on further into the middle of nowhere, I think, as we head on to the next town. So here I am on my last little town for today. I don't even know how to pronounce it. It's either Weethalle or Weethalle or something along those lines. Hopefully someone can tell me. Weethalle, maybe? W-E-E-T-H-A-L-L-E. I've got no idea. Looks like Weethalle, but then I heard someone say it might be Weethalle or Weethalle. So anyway, somebody will tell me for sure and certain. It's only a small little town, 268 people. And basically 50-50 male and female. Sun's in a bit of a bad spot coming in from this angle. Got a pub up here anyway in the town. I'm too scared to even say the name of the town because I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Here's the old pub. I think he's open. Royal Hotel. Oh yeah, he must be. I think he is. Well, there's not much if I turn down here. I better do another U-ey. There's the old supermarket. Supermarket's no longer going in this town. Now one thing they have got here is an old whistle stop railway station or something like that. Historic railway. Geez, that's not easy to say. Railway station. Bullet station. And the name of the town you can see there. Weethalle. Is it Weethalle or Weethalle? Weethalle. I'm not sure, but here's our old historic station. I think you can get some Devonshire tea in there, maybe in the other building around the corner here. It's got an old train carriage. Commercial banking company. Well, it's an old museum now. Anyway, that's opposite the pub here in this town. The historic railway station. Yeah, that shop there was open. You can see 1929, so it's been a few things over the years, but at the moment it's closed. Might open up again one day. Now I know the sun's in a bad spot, but I'm just going to turn right here. There's a whole lot of more closed shops on the left hand side in this little town of Weethalle. Please tell me if I'm getting it right or wrong, anybody who knows. Now when I looked up how many people were born in Australia, it says 75.7% and nothing else. So whether everything else is under 1% or I don't know, but that's on the actual census page for this town. Anyway, so just a look down the main street again, coming from a different angle without the sun behind us. See the pub there. There's not a lot more else to it. I don't even know if there's a shop here now with that shop closed. You can see a few houses on the other side of the railway station there. Jeez, so, that's not coming out right. But anyway, railway station. And what else have they got up here? Looks like there might be a school here on the right hand side, or a church. Anyway, we'll check him out from the other side of the road. So one thing they have got here in this town of, I forget how to say it, I don't even know how to say it, I don't forget, I just don't know, in Weethalle, is the silo art. As you can see there, they've got shearers and a fella working in the cornfield there. Anyway, people who've watched my other videos know I love the silo art, even though I don't know anything about art, but I reckon it just has a great positive effect on the visual side of a town, if that makes sense. I was just speaking to a bloke back there. There's a local, I'm not sure if it's still going, Motors, and the Australia Post, the building's still standing here in, now he said it was Weethalle, this fella. So anyway, I've asked 4 people and got 4 different pronunciations. And there is a little shop here, cafe, Weethalle, which I might go in there and get a drink. Yeah, Roadkill Grills. Fancy that, Roadkill Grills. What a name of a shop. And we're just going to come up here past these old, that was a cafe there, Marathon Cafe. No longer. That shop there looks like it might be open. Art, it says. And up past the poor old supermarket. He might be a demolition job by the looks of it. The whole roof's fallen in. And past the pub. Now the main source of employment here is sheep and grain, or beef and grain, cattle farming, or cattle farming basically, and grain. I've messed that up, but anyway, it's at 23.1%. Just grain growing alone is 18.5%. Primary school education is 8.3%, and this is a strange one. Gold ore mining, 4.6%. So, not sure where the gold is in this town. There's the fire brigade here, Weethalle or Weethalle. I've buggered it up, or Weethalle, I'm not sure. Anyway, up here is maybe where it might be the school and the church. What's that there? That might be some sort of hall. Presbyterian Church. Not sure if he's still going, but there's an Anglican church next door. And there's the RSL next door to that. There's a little war memorial, lest we forget. It's actually done up really nicely, that war memorial, with a bush in the background. It's quite nice. And this, an old courthouse. Jesus. And there's just an old house boarded up. Nobody's in there anymore. So there we go. I found the school here in Weethalle or Weethalle. Not sure the name of the town, as you know. I've had 4 or 5 goes. They're probably all wrong. But I have asked other people, and that's where I'm getting my info from. And they're probably not from here either, like me. So anyway, here's the some of the residential area of the town. Median house price here is $157,000. The average household income is $956. We'll turn right up here. There's a few more little houses. Crime rate is 82 per 1,000 people. Well, there's not even 1,000 people here. So, like I said in the other small towns, who would be committing a crime? Or why would you be committing a crime living in a small place like this? Yeah, so I think I said median house price, $157,000. I'll check out a few more of these homes. Seen the school. Here we go. And there's one more thing here. What do we want to see here? The Community Health Service, Weethalle, or Weethalle. Not sure if that's still going or not. But anyway, that might be just about enough of this town. A couple of nice little things here. We've got the silos that are painted and the old train station. And a small little population out in the middle of nowhere. But anyway, that's enough of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.